All right, so has anyone been enjoying the rain recently?
No.
No?
I got home in a rain.
No one likes enjoying some storms? What?
I don't like running in the rain.
Okay.
I want football instead.
What about when it's not raining? Like when it's warm? You guys got outside?
Yeah.
What do you like to do outside?
Play football, basketball, and when he gets cold.
Swim.
Literally just do track.
Okay. Anyone like to bike?
Yeah, I haven't run my bike.
No people?
Oh yeah, Lydia's really mad at me because she gets tired when we drive to the middle.
I know some adults who can't bike. Like,
Really?
I can't ride a bike.
Oh, I can help you. Is it you, Brad?
No, I can't. I can ride no-handed.
Yeah, I can on a mountain bike.
All the tires in
Nice. Okay. So you guys want to hear a horrible bike story? Anyone got an accident? Okay.
Stand up and do
Oh my lawn.
No, I can't do that. So, I was probably about 10 years old. Who's 10? Is anyone 10?
I'm 5.
You're not 10. Like,
No, I'm not.
Okay, you're not 10. Okay, well, I was like 10 or 11, okay? And one thing we always do with my grandpa is me and my siblings, we'd always go down to like the street and like ride our bikes and get some ice cream. All right, like an awesome like summer treat, right? It's fantastic. So, one day we get our ice cream, right? We're all happy. We're heading back, and I guys know I'm a little bit of a show-off sometimes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Only a tad.
Just to the tad? Yeah. Okay.
Most of the time.
Yeah. So I'm like, hey, Grandpa, look at me, look how fast I'm going, right? And I'm like, speed. I want to show him how fast I am. However, I'm not paying attention to what's ahead of me. And I'm looking back at him like, ha ha ha.
Let me guess, you hit someone's grandma.
And there's a mailbox that is a couple hundred feet in front of me. And I'm like, Grandpa, look at me. Pow!
What?
The bike goes flying. I hit the ground. I don't remember what happened. It honestly probably explains a lot of like my mental side that hit this mailbox really hard. Right? I don't know. Has anyone ever hit something on the bike?
The first time I was riding my bike, I hit the back.
Yeah, the first time I rode a bike, I ran into it.
Yeah.
And I was like going down the way, because I had a friend with me, so she had
Yeah. So guys, listen up. So the weird thing was, like, I had all this like ego, all this confidence. I was going forward, and then all of a sudden, I hit a wall. And the reason I bring up that story is because it has to do with our lesson today. It has to do with this idea that sometimes in life we think like we're following Jesus and everything's supposed to be great and perfect and wonderful, and then all of a sudden the mailbox of life out of nowhere hits you off your bike goes flying, and you're like, what in the world just happened? Takes your breath away, exactly, Mandy. Yes. So, that verse that Bram read, let's all read together. Philippians 4:4. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Always be full of joy in the Lord. I say it again, rejoice. What do you think about that verse? Always be full of joy in the Lord. I say it again, rejoice. Do you guys always feel like rejoicing? No? You guys have bad days? Yeah, it's hard to rejoice in those times, right? Okay, so the author of the book of Philippians, his name is Paul. You guys might know him. Apostle Paul. He actually is in prison and he's writing this. And he's writing, always be full of joy. This guy's in prison. Yeah, no, exactly. So what in the world is he getting at? Maybe the context of this verse can tell us more things. So this is what it says right before and after it. So Philippians 4, verse 2, if you guys are reading along, reading the Bible. Now I appeal to Euodia and Syntyche. Think of this as your name. All right, Syntyche. Yes. Please, because you belong to the Lord, settle your disagreement. And I ask you, my true partner, to help these two women, for they worked hard with me in telling others the good news. They worked along with Clement and the rest of my co-workers whose names are written in the book of life. Always be full of joy in the Lord. I say it again, rejoice. Right, that's our verse. Let everyone see that you are considerate in all you do. Remember, the Lord is coming soon. Don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank Him for all He has done. Then you will experience God's peace, which exceeds anything we can understand. This peace will guard your hearts and your minds as you live in Christ Jesus. So these aren't like a perfect people, right? Who was having these disagreements? Do you guys remember? What were the names of those two people? Who were the first people mentioned in that verse? Verse 2.
Yuria.
Yes, Wodia and Itachi, right? They are having disagreements. You guys ever have disagreements with your friends? With your parents? With your siblings? Right? Yeah.
If they were brothers,
All right. So when we say they weren't these perfect people, and all it says like, cast all your anxieties on the Lord, right? So they were worrying about something. So these people, they're not like these like amazing, no problem people. They're having issues just like we have issues. So once again, we get back to our verse. How can somebody be always full of joy in the Lord, even when things of life are rough? And that's kind of our main question we're going to ask today is how can you have joy when you don't really feel like having joy? So I have 3 joy secrets for you guys, right? The first joy secret is don't seek to have joy in yourself, but rather joy in the Lord. Right? As we talk about, these people were going through their own problems, right? Paul was in prison. People have had very painful lives sometimes. And yet somehow, despite all of that, they remain to be some of the most joyful people. I want to introduce you guys to somebody. Her name is Darlene Diebler-Rose. All right? She was born in like the 1920s, about 100 years ago. All right? And she was a missionary to like southern Asia. All right? She was a missionary over there, and she and her husband went over there, and this is right during the time of World War II. So during World War II, the Imperial Japanese forces come, and they put her and her husband in internment camps, in separate internment camps. Her husband dies. She is placed in this camp for 4 years, given very harsh treatment, has like so many medical issues come up just because like she's not being like given like good food or like taken care of. At one point, she's falsely accused of being a spy, in which she's placed in like solitary confinement, which for those of you who don't know what that means, it means she's placed alone in this like darkened room where she can't talk to anybody. And in fact, she's placed there with a sign above her head that says, "This is where you will die." And you want to know what her response was to this? I was listening to her testimony last night, and she goes, "I began to sing." She began to sing, and she began to remember and recall different verses, different scriptures that she had learned as a kid. Now, what I want you guys to hear from our talk this morning is that just being full of joy means that you're like, oh, I can go through the worst thing and be like, I got to be happy all the time. That's not what it means. But this woman, Darlene Rose, she found something deeper. There was a deeper joy that was deeper than her circumstances. And that's what she relied on in hard times. So if you want to go back to that joy secret number 1, if we have joy in ourselves, right, it's going to be very circumstantial. It's going to ebb and flow, ebb and flow. So if you're having a good day, you're like, oh, awesome. If you're having a bad day, you're like, oh, this sucks, right? And that doesn't mean it doesn't happen anymore. But when you have your joy in the Lord, it says, you know what? Yeah, today's not the best day. But my joy is in the God who is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore. He doesn't change. And if I can rely on Him, I'm going to be okay. It's kind of like a peaceful joy. It's this inner peace that says, okay, it's going to be all right. God's going to get me through it no matter how it looks like. So that's our first joy secret. Our second joy secret is view your problems through the filter of future glory. All right, I want you to write that down if you haven't written this down yet. View your problems through the filter of future glory. And I have a little thing to draw on the whiteboard for you guys. Oh, I should have not had you write on this. That's okay. All right, guys, so let's think of a character here.
Bob.
What should his name be?
Bob.
Bill.
Bob? Bill?
Jim.
Ooh, I like Frederica.
Bradley.
All right. We're going to get Frederica a big old nose. And let's say he's got a little mouth. All right.
I want him to
It's
be my
one.
grandma. He's my
Frederica. There you go.
You look so surprised.
This is a real, oh, he spells with a C? Oh, sorry, I was going with the Greek pronunciation.
Where's the body?
Yes. All right. Oh.
It's the headless one.
That being is small.
There you go.
My new best friend.
All right.
Like the airhead people.
It's an arrow.
So I want you guys to imagine you're Federico, and this is kind of like the spectrum of life, all right? Like a spiritual spectrum of life. So we'll draw this right down here. Da-da-da-da.
Why is he floating?
Because he can fly.
Because
That's
the head's
why.
filled with helium.
So on this side, this is your pre-Jesus side, all right?
He ate airheads, so he's obviously floating.
Oh, like a BC. Yes. So before we know Jesus, really, we don't have a lot of things going for us when it comes to like eternal like consequences and significance. So there's in this world there's pain, death, judgment, and not a lot of good things going on.
Happiness.
I just look like one of those letters.
Constant
And then
pain.
over here we have eternity, right?
No.
We have someone comes to know Jesus, and as they go into eternity, they have hope.
Too long.
Too long.
It's eternity. That's way too long.
That's just true. It should be dot, dot, dot. It just keeps going. Makes sense. Okay, we got hope, we got life, we have peace, and all of a sudden, Federico, he comes to know Jesus, he's riding his bike along the bike of life, and he hits a mailbox. Right? He lands on his butt right here. Still a little body. Alright? And he's like, what in the world happened?
He's surprised at his own.
He's impressed that it says.
Yeah, this is where it comes to our secret, okay? View your problems through the filter of future glory. Federico knows he's going over here, right? He knows this is what awaits him at the end of his life. Right? This is his eternity. But he's still caught up in all of this junk that we deal with on a daily basis. Now, when you guys are at school, you guys have like a certain, well, okay, first of all, who enjoys school? Anyone enjoy school?
I enjoy after school. I enjoy
Okay, I'm gonna ask,
I enjoy homeroom.
is there like one thing in particular you guys enjoy about school?
Homeroom!
Friends.
Gym! Math!
Friends.
Math!
Okay.
Math! Seminar is awful.
Now let me ask you, all right, before you get to the thing that you enjoy, you maybe not be enjoying like the class before, is that fair to say?
Yes.
Right? But is it easier to get through it when you know that you have something good coming up?
Yeah.
Right? You're like, yes. I think that's a good way. Exactly. Yeah. I think that's a good way to view eternity. All right? We still have all these issues, right? We still live in this earth. We still have all of these things going on. But we know that there is a place that God is preparing for us that is good, where there's going to be peace, hope, life, no pain. We can be with Jesus forever. And so when we view our problems, we say, you know what? Yeah, these are bad. These are rough. And that's okay, though, because I know that God is preparing something so much better for me. So I can get through this. Does that make sense, guys? Because too often what we do is we look back this way, and we see all of this, and we're like, oh no, this is everything that's going for me. And this is everything that we're viewing our life on. We're not going to be really happy most of the time. Right? Because we're constantly viewing the pain, the death, the judgment, the things that are happening in our world. But if we view our pain and the things that we deal with through the light of eternity, through the filter of eternity, we can say, you know what? Yes, this is not something that I'm super excited about, but at the end of the day, God's going to get me through it because I know He's preparing a place that is so much better. That makes sense, guys? Yeah? Okay. That's our second joy secret. And our third joy secret is that joy is contagious. All right? Anyone ever been around a Debbie Downer?
Yes.
Ugh, they're the worst, right?
What's a Debbie?
But what they do is, in the same way that joy is contagious, the opposite is also contagious, right? Hate is contagious. Greed is contagious. Being loathsome or just being lazy is contagious. So I have a short little video for you guys. I want you guys to watch this video. Play it for us, Jacob.
He's watching Trials of Life. He is really so sad. What is he watching?
There's always that one.
Yeah, there's one. Trying to sound like
I'm presenting in front of my class and my friends would give me that.
trying to make me laugh, but I'm not laughing, dude. I'm not laughing. Oh, I thought that was kind of cool. It is. I'm not laughing. It's
It's
cold.
Coca-Cola.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
This is not a. No, I do like Coca-Cola. So, guys, in that video, what did that guy's laughing? What did it do to the train
Made
car?
other people happy and laugh.
Exactly. Yeah. And if you've ever been on a train car, it's something that's one of the most like lame place. Everyone's like, everyone looks depressed on a train car. It's pretty true. Yeah.
Imagine look at that. What are you, bears or
Uh-huh.
something?
Yeah.
That's a different. I would say bears. Or like in laws, there's always that one on the
Dancing to it like
Well, that's awesome.
and the entire like boat was laughing so hard and
Yeah. Okay.
They were trying to make me
You guys, joy is contagious. There was an Indian Christian. He said this. He says, "Inside of me, there are two dogs. One that wants to enjoy life, one that wants to have joy, have happiness. And there's the other one that wants to look at the pain constantly, focus on the fear." And the guy said, "Well, which one wins?" He goes, "The one I feed the most." And so my question for you guys is, I want you guys to be joy-filled people, right? And once again, I want you guys to hear this. I don't want that to mean that you totally disregard things that are happening in people's lives. And you're like, "Oh, there's no pain, I'm happy," right? No. I don't want you guys to do that. Or just laugh maniacally on a bus. Though that is funny.
That was a train.
But I want you guys to view your lives, your pain, whatever you're going through in life, through Jesus, through what Jesus did on the cross, through heaven. Because I think if we do that, we'll be able to have joy even in the hardest times of life. So guys, my challenge to you guys today is I want you guys, your first look at when things are going wrong, I want you guys to look vertically. Right? Look to heaven, look to God. Don't just look up. Yes. Actually, you know what? Let's do this. Everyone look up. All right. Say everyone like, "I'm going to look up. Look up." All right. Look up first, and then now look horizontally. Look sideways. All right. Where's your first look? First look should be where? Up. Second look should be where?
Horizontal.
Second look should be where?
Down. Up. Again.
Right.
No, first look.
Right. Side.
Diagonal. Diagonal.
First look is up. Second look is sideways.
Start
Up,
diagonal.
sideways, up,
Okay,
sideways.
everyone stand up. Everyone stand up. We're going to little Simon Says.
Let's say Simon
All right.
Says.
First look.
Oh.
I thought we were playing Simon Says. You didn't say Simon Says.
Okay, fine. Simon Says first look. Down. Simon Says down. Simon Says first look. Did anyone look sideways? Down. If you Jocelyn, you look down. If you look down, sit down. Simon Says second look.
Wait, do you have to go?
Look sideways.
Do you have to go down to do that, or do you have to like go diagonal?
No, you look sideways. Like a normal person.
I know, but you never said to go
Don't look
down.
like
Yeah, you never said to go down though, like, because I was up and you never said to go
No,
down.
this looks sideways. Okay. Simon Says second look. All right, go back to the beginning. Anyone do that? Simon Says first look. All right, down. Lydia, you out. Simon Says down. Second look. Oh, got you.
Yeah, that's me.
All right. Simon Says first
Like I
look.
saw you do it.
What?
I saw you do
Down.
side.
Simon says down.
I saw
Simon says
you.
first look. Second look.
Josh, watch out for the honey bun on the ground.
Did I get you?
You.
Third
I'm
look.
gonna eat that later.
Hey, she looked down.
She looked down.
Rachel, what did you do?
You got it on the third look. Simon says first look. Simon says second look. Simon says first look. Down. Second look. Simon says second look. Simon says first look. Simon says down. Down.
Wait, we get old.
Simon.
We're
Alright.
already
If
with
you still are allowing me, if you can. Alright?
Yeah! I saw you move two on the same one.
This is my first time getting candy.
Guys, watch out for the honey bun. Guys, watch out, watch out. Candy?
You already got it.
I got you an orange one.
Oh, hey, Brad, I need
We
candy.
got two.
Alright. So let's pull up that verse again, Jacob, the first verse. Alright, guys. Always be full of joy in the Lord. I say it again, rejoice. Having joy even in the worst parts of life is possible. We don't want to look. Make sense? Yeah? Alright, let's pray. Alright, dear God, Lord, I thank you, that God, that you say that we can have life and life to the full in you. God, I pray, Lord, that when hard things happen, and if they're not happening right now, they will happen. That God, our first look would be to look up to you. That God, that we would see our pain in light of what you did for us on the cross. We would see our pain in light of eternity. And we say, you know what, God, if you're with us, who can stand against us? So God, I pray that over our students. God, help us to be people of joy. Help us to be contagious. That when people say what's going around us, they say, I don't know what is different about them, but there's something different about them. It would be that God, that you're living in.